Ladies and gentlemen of the art movement, I've mentioned in the past that I have been a long-time reporter for Fred Film Radio, the online talk radio on all things cinema, and for the past number of weeks, I have been recording for them a weekly show titled Big Fred Tuesday, with news and, most importantly, interviews with various guests from the film world from all over the globe. And this is somehow linked with the art movement because a few weeks ago on this very show, I praised Wakaliwood, a fascinating Ugandan film studio that specializes in making no-budget genre films, which first gained notoriety for a movie titled Who Killed Captain Alex, and has been going strong since, maturing like a fine wine. Well, believe it or not, I actually interviewed the founder and creative force of the studio, filmmaker NABWANA IGG, who I refer to as Isaac because that's his name. Joining us on the call was Alan Hoffmanis, a New York producer who must have a fascinating story of his own because he told me in the interview that after seeing the trailer for Who Killed Captain Alex, which went viral a number of years ago, he decided to book a plane for Uganda and see the studio for himself, and since then, he has been helping them blow stuff up. Cinematically speaking, of course. But in this clip from the interview, NABWANA IGG talks a bit about Wakaliwood, its history, and where the idea for him to create it originated. Alright, so this is amazing, but I know that a lot of listeners are not going to be familiar with Wakaliwood. But first off, I just wanted to start off by asking a simple question, Isaac. I wanted to start off with you and your background and ask you a very simple question. Why and when did you decide to make movies?
Yeah, it was around 2005 when I decided to make movies. But I had the dream before. It was around 1986, around there, when we started, teaching ourselves Kung Fu with my brother Robert. And the truth is I did not get a chance of watching movies when I was young, as Robert used to escape, to sneak in the video halls. And what he could come up with the story, he could tell you the story of a movie. And basically were action movies. Those days, the likes of, Bruce Lee, stars like Bruce Lee, Wang Yu, Jet Li. No, Jet Li was not in that era, but Bud Spencer. Then came in the Schwarzenegger, Roger Moore, and others. So he could tell you those stories, and then you get the imagination. And that is, in fact, what I'm using even up to now. I've not seen the movies, but I have the imagination of the movies from the stories Robert used to tell me. So from there, I got a challenge in my head that I have to make a movie. In 1988, I remember I told him that we can make a movie. But we did not even have a camera. But he told me, no, you cannot make a movie. It's, movies are very expensive. You need millions of, dollars to make a movie. So we taught ourselves Kung Fu through Chinese magazines. And the magazine was called China Sports Magazine. And then we started running from the movements at the back. There were movements of Kung Fu. So we taught ourselves. So when time came in 2005, when I was making bricks by that time, but I had collected at least some money. And then I said, no, let me buy a computer. It was a compact too. Then I thought of, starting how do they make a movie? And then that's how I started. But the inspiration comes from, the art I had because I was an artist. From childhood, I used to draw a lot from the exercise books, which were given to me for school. I used always to draw there. I used to draw about, football. A football match, I could draw the whole football match. Later on, when we started Kung Fu, then I started drawing the stunts of Kung Fu. So the movements of Kung Fu. So that's how time came when I wanted these pictures to move. And 2005 was a good year for me to start.
And was that when you also started Wakaliwood? Yeah,
that is when I started the dream of Wakaliwood. It was not Wakaliwood by then. It was, I called it Ramon Film Productions, and the names were are two names of my grandparents, my grandmothers. One from the paternal and the other one from the maternal. Rachel, that is Lucky, or Rachel is from the paternal side, and then maternal is the Monica, and then if you add the two, it's Rachel and Monica, or Raquel and Monica. That is Ramon. Yeah. Then later on, because we grew up in Wakaliga. The place here where I am, it is called Wakaliga. Then, but in fact, that's the time when even Alan was here. we started calling, we wanted to call it our village, and then it said it's Wakaliwood.
Yeah, it's a great name.
Yeah, when I first went there, it was Ramon, and I thought I was looking for a Mexican in Africa. I didn't get it.
Yeah, that's true.
and then it's like, oh, and then I told Isaac, Ramon is a real name, in much of the world. And Isaac was like, it should be. It's a great name. It's a good word.
The Heart Ramon, that's a Sergio Leone film. I think it's A Fistful of Dollars. Hey, so, but was Who Killed Captain Alex then the first film that you guys made?
No, I had already made some, like 2 movies, and some of those, in fact, 3 movies, but one of them was not mine. I just shot it. In fact, I learned from it, a lot of writing from it. But it was a friend of mine who had a play and wanted to make a movie out of that play. So by that time I wanted to know how they write a movie. So I had to help him, shoot it and edit it. So I learned a lot from his writing. Then we came together. I mean, after that one I came, that's when I called it the first audition after making that movie. So I came together with the crew which I had by that time. We made one movie called Ibyabuka, which means things can fly or something like that. Getting it from the Nigerians, because we had a lot of Nigerian movies here. So I wanted to make a movie similar to the Nigerians. So later, after making that movie, I said my dream is action. And then I told these guys that we have to make the first action movie of Uganda. So we sat, and then I started writing. But when I was writing, I used to bring to the team what I was writing, and then we discuss it. So we discussed, and then the name at first was not Who Killed Captain Alex. We did not even have a name at first. The name came after in fact, making the movie itself. We named it after watching it. And then we said, maybe this point here when Captain Alex is killed will make the title of the movie. And then we said, who killed it? In fact, it is even said, Tiger Mafia says, who killed him? Who killed him? Sammy, who killed Captain Alex? And that's when we said, oh, this is a good word to call our movie.
So clearly that's just the start of the interview. And if you want to listen to the full interview, because it's really fascinating, to hear the story of this amazing action film studio in Uganda. Well, if you want to listen to it, all you have to do is head on over to fred.fm/UK. That's fred.fm/UK.